Hi, and welcome to Faithful Healing Journeys. I'm Sandra Roberts, a licensed clinical professional counselor. If you've ever set New Year's resolutions without achieving them, or tried to make changes or achieve goals in your life without the success you sought, and have felt as though something keeps you from the goal, but weren't sure what, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about New Year's resolutions and goals. Specifically, we'll be talking about beyond New Year's resolutions, making and achieving goals throughout the entire year. If you've ever gone through the process of deciding which New Year's resolutions to set, then psych yourself up to it with a countdown to January 1, work really hard on the goal for the first couple of weeks, and then something happens and it's over. You've made a mistake or decided it just isn't working and end up quitting. Then spend a lot of time wondering what's wrong with you that you can't achieve your resolutions or goals. This video is for you. There's not something wrong with you. There's something wrong with the process you're using. Today, as you consider the graveyard of unachieved goals and resolutions that have died over the course of your lifetime, make a new decision to not allow that to happen anymore. Make a choice to change the way you set goals and plan to achieve them. This video can help you overcome the feeling that something is wrong with you that just continues to keep you from achieving what you want. If you really want to set and achieve goals and say goodbye to the feeling that you failed, roll up your sleeves, grab something to write with, and let's get started on working on beyond New Year's resolutions to making and achieving goals throughout the entire year. Goals don't have to be only for New Year's. We can resolve to make changes at any point. However, significant holidays or events such as a job change, a move, or even the new year can be great times to make changes. So as you move forward in this new year or towards this new goal, resolve not to give up, to remain focused, believe that you can achieve your goal, and make real changes that last. While that may sound easier said than done, we're going to work on the how of each of those steps in this video. Let's start by discussing the differences between typical New Year's resolutions that haven't worked in the past and new ways to set achievable goals. Typical New Year's resolutions are made only at the beginning of the year, while achievable goals can be made any time you want to achieve something or make changes in life. New Year's resolutions are often popular trends like getting organized, getting healthy, stop smoking, lose weight. Achievable goals are personalized changes for you and have a why behind them. New Year's resolutions are more about the task. Stop doing this, start doing that, and are often filled with uncertainty as to what success looks like and the path to get there. Achievable goals are specific and they have an end goal and a manageable step-by-step path to victory. As a result, New Year's resolutions are often overwhelming and unsustainable, while achievable goals have a plan to overcome struggles and are more sustainable long term. The New Year's resolution is often a trend, such as losing weight or stop smoking. These types of goals are often set because it feels like society or family expects them. Achievable goals are set because of a deep desire for personal change. These could also include smoking cessation and losing weight, but even though they sound the same, when it is something with a personal why, it becomes more achievable because the why keeps you focused on the goal and keeps your eye on the prize, so to speak, rather than just experiencing the difficulty of the work to get there. So, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? Studies show that when we write a goal down, we are more likely to achieve it. Spoiler alert, if you just write the goal on paper and stick it in a drawer and you never look at it again, it's not going to work. But writing the goal down and then keeping it in a binder, a file, or even a drawer, any place where you will regularly review it and even track progress is the key. You can also write your goal out down and tape it up somewhere you can see it in your office, your car, your bedroom, on the refrigerator, all of those places. So take just a moment to write your goal. Then write down your why. Why is this goal important to you? Being healthier is a good why, but try to be more specific. For example, if your goal is to stop smoking, your why could be to improve your lungs, have a long life expectancy, be able to run and play with your children, or possibly even participate in some physical activity you would enjoy. What is your why? Then write down the reward. What will happen if you achieve this goal? Will you feel better, look better, fit into a certain dress, climb a mountain, take a trip? What positive things will happen when this goal is realized? If none of the positive things you write down are really motivated, you need to ask yourself whether this is your goal or someone else's. Or perhaps even if you're not ready to start working on the goal, but maybe if you're in a stage of change that's contemplating this goal and down the road you would want it more. Now take a moment and write down the consequence. What will happen if you do not achieve this goal? If your goal is to get a certification at work, will you lose your job if you don't do this? Or possibly be passed over for a promotion? The consequence for not achieving the goal can be as motivating as the reward is for achieving it. Finally, write down how this process will change your life in the long run. Will the weight loss improve your self-esteem, your life expectancy, your confidence, encourage you to be more social? Will the certification for work also allow you to move into other areas of your career and change your overall lifetime earning capacity? These are all very important pieces of information to write down in addition to what your goal is. Often, when we set goals, we're aware it will be hard, but we really don't take into account the obstacles we'll likely face and make a plan to overcome them. This is often why we give up and feel we just can't achieve anything. So we need to address those first. Let's start by taking a look at some of the potential of obstacles you might face. For example, when setting a goal, we often want all the change to happen all at once. While that would be great, it doesn't always work that way, and there's something to be said for the process of getting to the goal. Often, smaller steps toward the goal are more manageable and are more sustainable over time. If you have a goal to lose 50 pounds and one of the steps of your goal is to add exercise, you might think going to the gym every day is the best way to do so. Of course, getting movement in will help you lose weight, but if you go to the gym and work out for hours at a time for the first time in years, and then try to get up the next day and go again while your muscles are screaming, you might find yourself beginning to make excuses and to feel defeated again. But if you start at a pace your body can handle, but still feels challenged by, then add a little at a time, it's more sustainable. Rituals of behavior are another thing that can make change difficult. So if your goal is to stop smoking, what are your rituals with smoking? For example, is one of your rituals of smoking to always smoke after a meal with a certain beverage? If so, how can you change that into a healthy ritual rather than smoking with a beverage that might not be the best for you, like soda or something like that? Can you go for a walk or can you spend time with family or do something to replace that? Replace the negative, unhealthy rituals with healthy, positive rituals. But don't ignore the rituals and pretend they aren't there. They're powerful pitfalls that can cause you to quit your goal. Be aware of these types of obstacles and make plans to overcome it before it sidetracks your goal. Another obstacle is negative self-talk. If you continue to tell yourself that you cannot achieve your goal, that you are not good enough, smart enough, or strong enough to do your goal, you will greatly reduce your ability to achieve it. You want to have some realistic optimism. When something doesn't work, like if you miss a day at the gym or let up on your goal in some way, or a step to your goal didn't work out the way you expected, instead of being mean to yourself and saying, I can't do anything right, use some realistic optimism. Say something like, that did not work out the way I expected to. I'm going to figure this out, learn what went wrong, and do better. I can do this. Then do just that. Look at why you didn't follow the plan or why the step you tried didn't work. Then overcome the obstacle, learn a new way, and continue trying. The thing is that the next step you try may not work either. But if you just quit because you tell yourself it won't, you certainly won't achieve your goal. Each step that you take is success because you're continuing to try. Keep trying and understand there are more than one way to achieve each of the steps you want to achieve. Another obstacle is quitting because we lose sight of the why. Take time to look at your goal. the why, and the steps at least once a week, and also revamp the steps as necessary. Keep reminding yourself of your why. Take a few minutes each week to track your progress and see where you are and what's coming next. Not knowing where to start can certainly prevent you from achieving your goal. This obstacle keeps us in a sort of perpetual state of procrastination. We know we want the change, we know why we want the change, but in this step, you have to work on the how. Do some research, talk to others or read about others who have achieved it, and then develop a step-by-step personalized plan for yourself with a time frame and schedule for the steps on your calendar. Feeling overwhelmed can also cause a person to give up on their goal. If you can determine what part is overwhelming, you can adjust steps to make it less overwhelming and more achievable. If you're doing too much to keep up with the steps, slow the pace. If it's that you're struggling with a specific step, ask yourself why. For example, if you're struggling with going to the gym, ask yourself why you're struggling. Is it too early in the morning? Is it at the end of the day when you're overly tired? Is it that you feel self-conscious exercising in front of other people? Whatever that is, tweak that to have exercise. Maybe there's a gym closer to your home. Maybe you can exercise without a gym. Maybe you can go to the gym at different times. Remember that you can change the steps and adjust them to make it work for you. The importance is you keep working toward the goal. If procrastination is a problem, ask yourself again why. When you know why you procrastinate, work around that. If you fear failure, which is often a reason for procrastinating, remind yourself that not trying at all will definitely bring failure, but if you continue to try, success is possible. A few more quick thoughts on negative self-talk and realistic optimism. Keep in mind that if you wouldn't say something to a friend, don't say it to yourself. Don't reinforce negative past experiences by saying the same hurtful things to yourself you once heard from others. Don't call yourself negative names or say that you are useless or can't do anything right. Saying these types of things to yourself is like having a bully walking around behind you all the time heckling you. You don't deserve or need this. This type of self-talk is self-defeating. Catch these negative self-statements as soon as possible and replace them with the truth. Also remember that realistic optimism is a great way of thinking to replace the negative self-talk. You don't deserve to be bullied, and you do deserve the truth. Realistic optimism delivers on that. It's neither pessimism nor optimism. It's just honest truth with hope. Be honest about the mistakes, but don't assume they mean all is lost. Develop a determination to learn, grow, and succeed. That mindset will be a huge asset toward achieving your goals. Recognize and challenge cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions are thought patterns that cause a sense of defeat and doom and can make us to give up easily. All or nothing thinking keeps us from recognizing that something can be good enough. For example, if your goal is to exercise 5 times per week and you make it 4 times, all or nothing thinking will have you feeling that the 4 times you did exercise don't count, but your body still benefits from the 4 times you exercised. All that matters is whether you did it 5 times, according to all or nothing thinking. Maybe if you're able to consistently exercise only 4 times a week, you can look at ways to tweak your schedule or accept 4 times a week for now and decide when to increase to 5 times per week. This may not get you to your goal as quickly, but it will still get you there. And certainly 4 times per week is better than none. Collecting straws is when you're looking for irritating, negative things that prove that what you're doing isn't working and that you're having a bad day. This is a huge deterrent to achieving your goals. Rather, try to see each thing as a separate event and not as an overarching message that you should not continue. Fortune telling or predicting the future is when you believe in advance with no evidence that something will not work. For example, I just know I'll try my best and still not be able to achieve my goal. These types of thoughts can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. After all, if you know something won't work no matter how hard you try, why put your best effort towards it, and why continue to try? Overgeneralization is taking one negative event and applying it broadly to your life. For example, if you're working towards your goal and one step doesn't work as planned, overgeneralization would have you believing that because this step didn't work, none of them will, and none of your goals ever will. You'll believe that you can never achieve anything. Again, this step causes you to not do your best and to give up. Catastrophizing is also commonly referred to as making mountains out of molehills. A small problem becomes something so big and overwhelming that it ruins everything. When this happens, try to remember to reduce the problem back to scale. Where is it really on the scale of a small event or something catastrophic? All of these cognitive distortions can keep you from achieving your goal. Like negative self-talk, it's important to catch these patterns as soon as possible and challenge them. Learn to see truth with realistic optimism and not quit or give up because of some misguided thought processes. Not knowing where to start can also throw you off track. To begin working on your goal, write it down, write the why. Remember to write down the consequences and the benefits of your goal. Break the goal into smaller steps and list these out with an estimated amount of time each step will take, along with whether or not they are one-time or repeat activities, such as going to the gym versus research to writing a paper or a book. Schedule the activity into your calendar, being mindful of energy levels you'll have at the end of a workday. Decide whether the step needs to be broken down further, such as going to the gym, may also need the step of trying to decide a gym if you haven't found one yet. Very little can cause a goal to fail, like having a goal that's not realistic. Now, of course, you want to dream big, you want to do great things, but your goal needs to be achievable and realistic. For example, no matter how hard I try, I will never be able to jump from the earth to the moon. It has to be something achievable and realistic. It has to be measurable. Saying I want to lose weight is too vague. Do I succeed if I've lost 1 pound, or do I need a lot more? Knowing when you've reached your goal is important. Be specific with your goal. Rather than just saying, I want to get healthy, what does that mean? What does it mean to say, I want to get healthy? Does that include weight loss? Does that include stopping smoking? Does that include more working out, eating more vegetables, drinking more water? What way do you want to be healthy? It's important to have a meaningful why. I can't stress that enough. Having the why and looking at it often will help you succeed. And then develop a realistic path to success. We're going to talk in just a moment about a roadmap. It's a great way to have a path to success. If you don't like that, find another, but breaking it down into smaller steps and planning them out and writing the steps in your calendar is just vital to achieving your goal. The roadmap is a helpful tool in getting from where you are to where you want to be. It can help to have a roadmap for your goal. This way, you can track your progress, know what comes next, and of course, celebrate when you have succeeded. To have your own roadmap, start by drawing a shape or particular object like a building, a leaf, a happy face, etc. at the bottom of a page. And next to that, you can write the words start, you can write the name of your goal, or I am here next to it. Then draw another shape representing success at the end of your journey. Again, the shape is up to you. It can be a full tree of leaves, it can be a new building, it can be a star, it can be anything you want. It's important to think of getting to your goal as a journey and not a single task, and the roadmap helps with that. In that end place where you've succeeded, you can write the word success, you can write I win, or you can make up a name, smoke-free, tobacco-free, healthy, whatever you want to call that place. Write that on that end goal. Then draw a winding road between the beginning and the success points and add other shapes in for stops along the way or the steps to achieving your goal. As you work towards these steps, you can begin to fill them in with a pencil to represent how you're achieving that particular step. So if your overall goal is to be healthy and you further define that as a series of steps, and one of those steps is to lose 20 pounds, when you've lost 5 pounds, you can color in that shape or that stop 1/4 of the way. You can also add additional steps later if you realize you need to add more things to be the type of healthy that you want to be, or another step along the way. Make them look interesting and manageable for you. It can also be very helpful to enlist a friend or family member to become an accountability partner with you. This should be someone who's honest but not judgmental, someone who can ask you tough questions that the two of you can prepare a list of together, someone who won't gossip about you and who understands the difficulty of the journey you're on and also the importance of it. Sit down together, prepare a list of questions that this accountability partner can ask you, such as, what have you been working on this week towards your goal? What are your successes? What have been the obstacles that you faced and how did you handle them? Were there times when you didn't handle them well or when something went wrong? Let's talk about how to fix that. What are you doing to maintain that? Are you ready for the next step? Any of those questions, and all of them, should be ones that you can talk together about honestly and feel comfortable talking with this person about. It's really important that you have a comfort level and that this person being your accountability partner won't ruin your relationship. It's also important to find ways to celebrate your successes. Whether it's calling a friend to share your joy or treating yourself to a movie or something you want, it's important to acknowledge when you've made progress. Nothing breeds success like success. So make sure you're allowing yourself to acknowledge, internalize, and recognize whenever you're a step closer to achieving your goal. But make sure the rewards are not ones that work against your goal, such as buying a box of chocolates when you've lost some weight. Prepare a list of rewards in advance for each stage of success. You could even get a box of small rewards and keep them for your little steps. Recognize the need to continue revising your plan. Not every step will work the way you initially planned. That does not mean you failed. It means you need to look at it from a different angle and find a way to succeed. Maintain realistic optimism. Catch the negative thoughts and negative self-talk and replace them with truth. Thank you for joining us for Beyond New Year's Resolutions, making and achieving goals throughout the entire year. I hope that this is helpful in your journey to making the changes you want to and to leaving behind the thoughts or fears that you can't succeed. Don't forget to subscribe and check back weekly for new videos on many helpful topics. Share our link with a friend so they can grow too. Thank you for watching.